Hey, how are you? Welcome once again to the Blossoms of the Savannah, done by Henry Ole Kylo. This time around, we're going to be looking at character and characterization. Of course, the analysis is done by Mr. Sherlock, me right here. Good. So, characters in chapter 1. Characters in chapter 1. Parsme Ole Kylo, our first character. He's married to Jane Milanoi, Mama Milanoi. Ole Kylo is the father of Tayo and Resian, previously the commercial manager of Agribix Limited. Ole Kylo is retrenched and decides to move to his hometown and start a family business. Though he has two lovely daughters, Ole Kylo loves his firstborn Tayo than he does Resian. His hatred is intense that Resian instinctively notices it. What are the character traits of this gentleman right here? He is hardworking, industrious, and competitive. And how do we know this? Through his industry, Kylo had risen to the ranks of commercial manager at Agribix Limited. Being competitive, he only saw the achievements of others and not his. 2. He's short-tempered, obstinate, and domineering. Tayo saw the directives given to the men who were loading the lorries and felt sympathy for them. That is in page 1. When his brother told him about what the elders were saying about his monogamy, he called them megalomaniacs. That is page 13. Page 13. Tayo says that the father would ruin their day without his sharp tongue. That is page 3. This gentleman is equally loving, hurtful, and hostile. He loves his wife and firstborn daughter so much. Tayo felt that she could ask him for anything until he said no to her for the first time. In Mama Milanoi, he saw a precious gift. That's page 9. Although he shows love and care, he has no love for his lastborn. Page 10. His sharp tongue makes Tayo feel hurt when he denies permission to go to Mombasa. Mama Milanoi, or Jane Milanoi. She is the wife to Parsme and the mother to Tayo and Resian. Her character traits then include religious. She is religious. In fact, she prayed for a safe journey before they left Nakuru. You can find that on page 6. She is dependent or submissive. She fully relies on her husband. After her husband had been retrenched, she was in utter shock, but her husband's stoicism made her optimistic. She is optimistic. Once she was assured of her husband, she became more secure. You can find that on page 7. She's beautiful and loving. Kylo appreciates his wife's beauty, which has remained so for over 20 years, and this one is evident on page 6 of the text. What about Tayo? She's the firstborn of Kylo and Mama Milanoi, and her character traits include lovable, outgoing, supportive, and trusting. She trusts her father to make the right decision when she asks for permission to attend a music extravaganza in Mombasa. You can find that on page 2. She has a boyfriend in Nakuru, which speaks of her outgoing nature, unlike her sister, page 9. You can find that on page 9. Her sister looks up to her for support, especially when dealing with their father. Optimistic. Tayo thinks positively about their future, and they move to Nasila in contrast to her sister, who has a wide-ranging fears and reservations. You can equally find that on page 4. Resian. She's sullen, resentful, and self-doubt. You can find that on page 10 rather. She's a pessimist, unlike her sister Tayo, who is optimistic. She's again sensitive. You can also equally find that on page 4. She's decisive and focused. She doesn't care for her father's success or business, but for her dreams of continuing with her education. You can find that on page 4. Samiren Ole Kylo. He is the brother to Parsme Ole Kylo. And what are his character traits? Confident and courageous. He uh, he is ably represented. He ably represented rather. Okay, ably because he was able. He ably represented the Ole Kylo's family in the clan activities throughout the period Parsme was in Nakuru. And you also could find that on page 11 rather. And accommodative, comfortable, and submissive. He had acceptable his brother's birthright as the firstborn and always gave him the respect that he needed. Page 12. He is loyal and dependable. He willingly ran the errands for his brother Parsme without complaint. Equally that one on page 12. Good students, to do with character and character traits on the first chapter, we've successfully done that. I would prefer that when you're going through this particular video, you pause each and every time, not literally each and every time, but when you're making a short notes, because I know you have to, or you will be doing this. And for successful completion of this work, I would prefer that you do these in a comfortable place. Have a pen and a note to write on, and pause at time intervals and make some short notes on the same, and you never regret your time. Adios for now.